I'm not reviewing this. I'm not trying it. I'm not so much as even going to take a single bite of this. I'm not. I made the decision, and this is the first time in probably the 13 years, I think it's been almost 14 now, that I've been doing this YouTube channel that I looked at the item and I made the call. I'm not even taking a bite of this. I cannot. It's just not happening. And you know how it is, if you're a regular viewer, I mean, you know, I've tried all sorts of things from all sorts of establishments on this channel, and I've tried some pretty bad items. I mean, some items that are just downright gross. And more often than not, I'm willing to give places the benefit of the doubt, and I'll say, alright, I won't necessarily, I'll try not to judge a book by its cover. It might look real gross, but I'll still try it out, and then of course, maybe it does taste just as bad as it looks. But, I'll try to give the benefit of the doubt. And I'll say, well, maybe, maybe I just have a bad feeling about this, but it is what it is. I can't do it. I drew the line here. People are going to say, well, what reviewer are you to do that? But if you were in my shoes right now, I would imagine you would probably do the same. And you know what's funny? It's funny, isn't it? I made this video because there wasn't a lot coming out. There are some new releases on the horizon, granted. I made this video to try to give Arby's one more chance, and I kid you not, and this is what happens. Like, you can't make this stuff up. Arby's is a chain that has problems, if you ask me. I don't think I'm the only one noticing this. Because I see things, granted, as yes, a consumer, of course, but I'm on the other side of things too. I do the reviews, I see the interest in things, and I see what thousands, if not tens of thousands of people are saying about these said establishments. And Arby's is one of those places that has probably gotten some of the most criticism I have ever seen from the viewing audience. And the interest exhibited in items I review from Arby's is the lowest of any chain out there that I've ever reviewed. And the feedback, again, toward Arby's itself that I generally see is universally negative for the most part, saying, well, it's not what it used to be. And then, on my end, personally, now that's just what I see, doing things administratively, with the channel. The local Arby's are all closing down. I mean, they're shutting their doors permanently. And the Arby's that I got this from, and I went out and I got it, there was no one there. There was no one parked there, there was no one dining in, there was no one at the drive-thru. Ghost town. And that's like the only one in the area now because all the others closed. And I thought to myself, because granted I do this channel, of course this is my livelihood, this is what I do, so I try to review items with a proportional amount of interest, And Arby's, that level of interest just isn't there, but I thought, you know what? I'm gonna give him one more shot. And they released this new Bourbon BBQ Sandwich. So disappointed. I mean, it's tough to even... They released this new Bourbon BBQ Chicken Sandwich. Chicken fillet, brown sugar bacon, cheddar cheese, onions, bourbon barbecue sauce. Available from the price of $7.50 to $9. And I also got some fries, and I got a Jamocha shake, which I think this at least is safe. It tastes more like a vanilla shake than the Jamocha, but at least, this is the thing that I have the best feeling about. Anyway, I was thinking, I feel like no one really cares about Arby's, but like I said, this sounds like an interesting item, and I'm just gonna give him another shot and see what happens, Because look, I don't hate Arby's, okay? I'm not one of those people that just hates something, or, you get, there's things where it's like trendy to hate something and just pile on, even if you really don't. I thought, look, there are still some things that I like from Arby's. I'm just gonna try this out, and, hey, maybe it'll be good. Alright, it all went wrong, first and foremost, when I decided to try one of the curly fries. And, you know, maybe they look pretty. Because this is the thing. Things can look a certain way, but then it comes down to what it tastes like. And I try out these curly fries, and they are bone dry, number one. They're bone dry. They almost taste freezer burnt to me. And, they were almost had like this chewy consistency to them. And it wasn't just one, there were more than one. Like, these taste really old. And that got me worried. So, get to the box, you know, I start looking into the sandwich, and, like I said, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but I sure can. This is why I made the call. I could already smell that something isn't right here. And, you know, I open it up, and I'm thinking, alright, you know, it looks fairly normal anyway, but I wanted to be sure. I cut it in half, and again, I don't know how this really looks from the cross-section, but now even if I were to review this, that bottom, the tiny little sliver, that's your chicken fillet right there, and that's it. Which is sad. And then all the other stuff is like onions and stuff, but that tiny little sliver is just, that's all your chicken. Which is, again, pretty sad to see for a chicken sandwich. But where I drew the line is after I cut it in half, because something, again, didn't smell right. And it just smells like rotten. That's all that I could say. And I'm not necessarily, I'm just saying what it smells like, alright? I'm not saying that I know for sure that that's what it is, or that it's just actually really old, or expired, or whatever, you know? All I can say is what it smells like. And it does not smell good. It's got like this garbage smell to it. And I drew the line there. I can't review it, and I'm not going to review it. I am not going to take a single bite of this. And maybe it's just a one-off instance, but I've gotten food poisoning enough in the last year. I've gotten it so many times, I just don't want to deal with it again. And this is one of those instances where my gut feeling is just screaming at me, just don't do it. Just don't take a bite of this. Throw it out. It's not worth it. And, you know, I thought to myself, you're right, it isn't worth it. Because like I said, I've had food poisoning, and it makes me down for the count for days and days, and look, for a YouTube video, it's not worth it. And to sit here and take a few bites out of this and make a bad face and talk about how bad it is, and then be in misery for days, possibly, if this is what I think it is, I can't do it. It's not worth it. This is the first time ever that I drew the line with an item like this, and I can't try it, and I'm not going to. How disappointing that is. But this is just... this has never happened before. Not to this extent, anyway. And I'm really sorry. I know people come to this channel for reviews. They want to see my thoughts on things, and then what, to sit here and not actually try the sandwich? It's like, I know how that seems, but I'm sorry, I can't do this to myself. I refuse, and you could take that how you want, but I'm not trying this. I'm not eating it. Arby's is a chain that I want to see succeed. You know, it wasn't until I was actually a teenager when I first tried Arby's, believe it or not. When I first did, I actually liked them. And, funny enough, you know, I was never a big fan of the roast beef. I actually liked the chicken items from Arby's the best. I liked their chicken tenders, some of their chicken sandwiches, their buffalo chicken sandwich, all that stuff, the shakes, the curly fries. And it saddens me, you know, to see a chain where there's something that you actually like, and I have to sit here and you're seeing all the establishments close. You're seeing the feedback for it get progressively more and more negative, and now this is the breaking point. I'm sitting here, I wanted to give him a chance, and it's like, I don't even feel safe eating it. And it saddens me, it genuinely does, you know. You hate to see this happen to a chain that I really did enjoy. Now, I don't know why I guess I'm trying to make something out of nothing here at this point, but I'm just going to leave this to you as a question because I really want your feedback. Number one, what experiences, if you still go to Arby's, what experiences have you had with them as of late, good or bad? Secondly, do you see it the same way that I do, that this is a chain that's having serious problems right now? Because I sure am. But are you seeing it the same way? And third, if you think Arby's is in trouble, if you were the CEO of Arby's, what would you do to try to turn this around? Because right now, I think they're spiraling down the wrong track, if you ask me. And I'm not even going to get into the reviews that I saw for some of the remaining Arby's locations, that I saw like on Google and Yelp and all those sites. I'm not even going to go there. Those people, they're saying what they say, but this is just my own opinion, and I can't verify what's said there, but I'm not even going to go there. So, those are just some questions that I have. What would you do to fix this? How would you save Arby's at this point? Because that's the point that I think we're at. I could already see the writing on the wall that the interest just wasn't really there, that the feedback was mostly negative, but this is the first time in 13 and a half years at this point that I refuse, for the sake of that possibility, maybe getting something from this, that I just can't take a bite when it smells like this. So I'm probably going to reach out to Arby's direct and let them know about this, because for the sake of everyone else out there, I cannot let this stand. But let me know. I'm sorry that this video had to be this way, but I can't in good faith do it. All I could say is that the Jamocha shake at least is edible, but it's more vanilla than, that sort of mocha coffee flavor, but at least that's consumable, and at least the fries, I guess, are edible to a degree. But sorry it had to be this way. And I hope, I sincerely, seriously hope that Arby's somehow can turn this around. Because this is dire straits for them, the way I see it. I didn't want to sit here and bash them. I'm just stating the observations that I see, and I want to see them succeed. And I really hope they do. And I hope they could return to their former glory. I mean that. But they have problems right now, big problems. And I hope it's not too late, but maybe it is already. I've never been in a situation like this where I had to actually call off the review because of this. But here we are. I wouldn't even probably give this a score out of 10 just because I haven't tried it, but if you were to force me to give this, a score, I'd probably give it like a 0 out of 10, simply when something is so bad that, you can't even feel safe or comfortable eating it. But that's not even, that's not an official rating or anything. It's just pains me, it really does. Sometimes these negative reviews, it's like, it can sort of be entertaining, but this is that point where it's like, it's just sad. It's just sad. It's like where something's already down, and then it keeps getting worse. It's like, no, you just don't want to see it. It's like, it gets to a point where it goes from entertaining to just sad and pathetic, and it's at that point right now. So, just remember those 3 questions. I really want to see some responses here. Is it just me? Am I in like the depths of fast food hell or something, and it's just some sort of curse on all the Arby's in my area? Or are you noticing something similar? Are the ones near you, are they hopping? Do people still go there? Are they empty? Are they closing? Quality-wise? And again, if you think that they're in dire straits, and let's say if you're in charge, how would you fix it? I'd really love to see as many comments as possible, and I want to know what you think. But I hope you understand why I made the call that I did, because, heck, maybe it just smells really bad, and maybe I would be fine if I tried it out, but I cannot do this to myself. Like I said, I've been through this too many times in the last year even that I can't do it. I refuse. I'm sorry. So, hate that it had to be this way, but that's all that there really is to it. On a final note, in addition to these videos and reviews I do, I also do a podcast and a radio show. But admittedly, the podcast and the radio show, it needs your help. It needs your support to stay on the air and keep going. And I run a Patreon page just for that purpose. So please check it out if you're interested. Patreon.com/TheReportOfTheWeek. Link is in the pinned comment. Just check it out. Look, the show, the radio show, and the podcast, it needs your help. It really does. And maybe check out the Patreon. Any support is really much appreciated. And if you do want to support what I do, though, with the radio show and the podcast, you could access exclusive content, thousands of hours of audio work, podcasts, and radio shows that I do. So just please check it out. In the podcast, I talk about whatever's on my mind, and on the radio, talk about whatever's on my mind, too. Talk about some stuff going on in the world and life. I'll play some music. It's just a fun, laid-back show. But like I said, they need your help. And check out the Patreon page if you're interested. Again, patreon.com/TheReportOfTheWeek. And the link is in the pinned comment below and in the description as well. Arby's, for their sake, I just want them to succeed. I never want to be here again in a circumstance like this, saying what I'm saying right now, that I can't do this review. I hope for Arby's sake things get better. Because I hate it. I want them to succeed. And I really do. Things don't look all that great right now, but I want to see them turn around. That's all that I have for you. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm your host, The Report of the Week.